live.
All right. Hello and welcome, everyone, back to the Enlightened Investor. Happy holidays, Mike.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot to talk about. It's kind of our year.
You didn't get the memo for the color. I thought maybe green would have worked. Would have been a good contrast.
It's been kind of a little black and hazy these days at Bradley, so maybe.
Sorry, we won't bring that up.
Yeah, we'll bring that up. But we've got a great show for you guys today. We're going to talk about our predictions of 2023, how well we did, and I think we had a pretty good batting average.
Yes, looks like it.
63% roughly. And we'll talk a little bit about, even Mike and I have been kind of a little philosophical sometimes, a little about like stoicism and a little bit about just basic principles. We're going to get into that today as well. So I think you're really going to enjoy this show as you get ready for the Christmas holidays and get ready to blow your budget, right?
Yeah.
Well, anyways, let's go back and take a look at some of the things we predicted for this in January. And we're going to do another one of these in January. Next month.
24's predictions.
Yeah, and overall we did pretty good. We've both years we've been above 50% on our predictions, and this year we hit 5 of 8.
Can I just throw this in now because we'll probably do it later? But I mean, when I make a prediction or I talk about something, it has nothing to do with what I'm doing for a client's portfolio. I mean, we're disciplined, systematic.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's fun to kind of have us talk about it.
It is fun
from an economist's point of view.
Yeah, it is fun.
But from an advisor's point of view, the predictions are something we don't talk about. We are going to talk about the importance of discipline. So
that's coming
just
up.
Throwing it out right at the beginning.
Sure, yeah.
Just get that out.
Well, hey, remember, in matters of principle, stand like a rock, and that's what we do. We stand like a rock in our
Larry
plan.
Swedroe, be like a stamp.
Like a stamp and stick. So, anyways, let's get back to our predictions.
Okay,
how we did.
Yes, I'm sorry.
And so, remember, I guess one of the things, and Mike just kind of said it, predictions are dubious at best, right? And everyone kind of goes on the same side, and usually the people that always bet on the same side as the crowd are wrong. And I think that is our prediction number one, is that we predicted a recession this year. We had most indicators said that would happen, and the only thing that kind of held us up was the job market. But you had trucking and transport. We had container shipments and housing.
Well, and the consumers, I mean, they're spending.
And but their debt's up. So there's a lot of who knows why, Mike. But it didn't. That was prediction number one, 0 for 1.
Okay.
We predicted inflation would be down. How do we do on that? Positive, right?
Okay.
So we're 1 for 2. We predicted that the Fed would have to lower interest rates because of a recession. We missed that one. Interest rates are at 5.5%. So they never came down this year. So we're 1 for 3.
Okay.
The national debt would kind of
get out of control. I went around for the ride for most of these.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's along for the ride. Just hang in there, buddy.
Yeah, these predictions.
This is all the economics part.
Yes.
2 for 4 because we thought the national debt would reach $33 trillion by the end of the year, and it did. Thanks to Congress and Joe Biden, right?
Is it right? I think I heard on the radio or somewhere they said it goes up $1 trillion every quarter.
Oh yeah,
does that sound right?
Out of control.
Isn't that crazy?
Out of control. Another one. So we're 2 for 4. Let's how about this one, number 5. With interest rates falling, the bond returns should be positive this year. Really, that was kind of a miss. So yields are up, but they're down. So it's 2 for 5. The escalation of the Ukraine war would worsen, and it's kind of sat there and escalated. So I'd say we're fine on that one. That's 3 for 6.
We didn't bring up the Israeli war. We didn't know that was coming.
Yeah, see, there's another example. How can you predict the future when you don't know what's coming up next? We talked about, this is something I'm going to give us credit for, that we're going to return to the mean in the future, like in the next 10 years. We're looking for positive growth in the stock market, but with overabundant returns in the past 10 years, it's kind of hard to continue to have, outperformance of equities domestic
for a long time.
Yeah, but we were talking about, remember, international.
This year's a perfect example though. The S&P's up like 19%. I mean, I would guess. Internationals, I don't know, 10.
Lagging
decent.
a little bit, and value and small cap is like
very
lagging,
muted,
so like 9% or something like that. So I think we're 4 for 7 there. And number 8, hey, look at this. We said we went out on a limb, and we said the stock market would be up, but we didn't know for sure. Oh yeah, we.
Yes. I try not to make too many forecasts, but I'm going to go with you. You can continue to conclude me as we.
Yeah. So hey, that's 5 for 8. I'll
there you go. You did a good job. Good job.
pat in the back there. But
Yeah.
we just kind of went with the batting average on that one because usually, what is it, 8 out of 10 years the stock market's
So
up?
when you mention all these predictions, I'm jumping ahead to our next talk in January. But,
Yeah.
I mean, right now they're trending, saying interest rates are going to start to taper off and go down.
Yeah.
That's kind of like forecasting the stock market too, but it's possible. So I mean, technically, if you have a ladder of fixed income and maybe your ladder used to be a 5-year ladder, maybe now you're pushing it out to 7 just to kind of guard against that a little bit. When I mean ladder, I mean, when say you have a 5-year ladder and you had $1 million, or you would put 20% in each 5 years and you just continue to make that ladder as it matures.
Mm-hmm. There's some wisdom right there on
Well, it guards
investing.
against ups and downs, both
Guards
ways,
against ups and
directions.
downs. Yeah, exactly.
But yield curves change, and your yield curve gets steeper. It makes sense to extend your ladder a little bit longer. Yield curves are flat. There's no advantage, so why go very long?
Right.
Sorry,
Yeah,
interjecting.
No, that's
the
actually
advisor interjection. On
Thank you.
The
Yeah, thank
Economist.
you. That's what the value of watching
we
the
go.
show is,
Right,
right? So
yes.
maybe extend your ladder this
Yeah.
year, folks.
Okay.
Let's get in. So that's our first thing. The second thing we want to talk about is stand firm on principles, and we're going to bring forth. We got our good friend here, Ben Franklin, but we'll go back in time and go to Thomas Jefferson, and he said, on matters of fashion, like Mike's wearing red, go with the flow, but in matters of principle, stand like a rock. And I think that holds true for your values as a human. Like, what do you have for your morals, your stances on things such as like free speech today in today's world, but also in your investing life too. Like, have you done your due diligence and researched the type of investor that you want to be, the type of allocator you want to be based on, like, say, evidence-based investing? That's the kind of stuff that we look at is what does the research show? And then we tend to put things in place that follow the literature instead of just some wild speculation.
Yeah, I wonder, I was just thinking, to kind of add to that, I mean, I'm thinking where people get their advice, whether they do it themselves or whether they get advice, what the percentages are. I don't know that number. That'd be interesting to see, because I think it's behavioral, even if you're using an advisor or not, there's a lot of issues that we make mistakes because of our own behavior, right? But also, as far as getting advice from people, and we beat this drum a lot, and I'll just beat it right here again today. When you're getting advice from someone else, and they are not a fiduciary, and I see this word being misused so much anymore nowadays, and the simplest way to find out is you can go to, there's a website for broker check for brokers that have licenses, and if they truly are fee only, I believe it's like IAPD.com for registered investment advisors.
Okay.
And if your advisor has a license any different than just one, which is a Series 65, which means he's fee only, you're not getting true unbiased advice. And that's a stretch from behavior, but I think it is in the end. It is part of the behavior, because that's where you're getting your guidance. And if you really want to have assurance that you're getting solid advice, that's what people should check on. Sorry.
Yeah,
the advisor had interjected.
No, so I'm just waiting to talk, and that America today, I'm waiting to talk.
I'm sorry. Okay, you're turning off.
No, but how about Dave Ramsey? Like we talked about him a little bit in the past. Like, he is not a fiduciary.
Well, he's in the news right now too, because he
go ahead.
about a month, I don't know if you saw this, like a month or two ago, he basically was telling people you can use 8% as your spend down percentage in a portfolio, and that's just malfeasance. I mean, that's
if
no
you want
good.
if you want to see an iceberg melt, which is
8%. Wow, you talk about that, yeah.
Yeah, so
But he does a great job on all the debt.
On the
though.
debt
I think
stuff,
he does a
yeah.
great job there. So
Yeah.
he needs to stick with what he's good at.
yeah, but
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, Dave Ramsey is not a fiduciary, right?
No.
His what do they call them? Like, he calls them like his partners,
Yeah,
whatever.
but I don't mean.
Go ahead.
If I'm going to beat up on people that are not fiduciaries, I'm going to beat up on the industry that
As a
has
whole?
their Series 7 license, their Series 6 license, their insurance license, so they're doing much more than advising. They're basically sales persons in disguise as advisors.
Yeah, and that's the
that's
story.
probably 85% of this industry.
That's the story of American financial.
Yeah, but I'm sure
institutions.
they're great people and people like them, but
Yeah,
it's not the structure you want if you're getting advice or someone that's managing your money.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, the last thing we want to talk about here at this live audio,
Oh,
this
the
live
phone.
is like, this is from Marcus Aurelius, so one of our emperors. We mentioned Stoicism. Here's what he says: "Quote: You have the power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." So you have the power to control how you react to things, if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Don't let your emotions control you. You just mentioned that. Like, take a breath and control what you can control, and that relates to your relationships. It relates to your job. It relates to your money, and so find strength with the purpose you've established ethical standards. It's kind of similar to what Jefferson said, but.
You're very philosophical today.
Well, thank you. I've been talking to
Well, we
our
always tend
producer
to draw
Ryan
back
too
in,
much.
right. Yeah.
So if you guys got to come out and visit us here, at Cypress, we got Ryan, our stoic philosopher.
Yeah, maybe we'll get back in the saddle more next year. We were kind of light this year, 23, saved all of our 30 viewers, but we'll see how next year goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Merry Christmas to
Yes,
everyone
Merry
here, and we wish you well and a healthy and prosperous 2024. We'll be back with some predictions next year and having some fun along the way. This is the Light Investor
The
Team.
professor and advisor.
Professor and advisor.